Welcome everyone to a new type of video, which will be very different from what I'm usually have planned for everyone. First things first, I have a guest with me. Please introduce yourself and plug your channel before they realize how long this video will probably be.
I'm Bri. You can find me on YouTube at Bumblebri. You can find me on Twitter at BumblebriVA, and you can find me on Twitch also as Bumblebri. I do the dub of Jackson's Diary, which you should totally go check that out. And yeah, that's it.
When will your Lore Olympus video be out?
Whenever I finish it.
So go check out her stuff.
Yay!
Because it's all great. I'm in her streams.
Yes.
Sometimes. So far we've played Deltarune. I was the monster girl that was mean and ate chalk. And we watched you make tres leches, which was fun. But today we're here because of love.
Yes.
Specifically love triangles. And the series Let's Play. Let's Play is a series I've talked about 9 times. Actually, never mind. 9 times. I've talked about this series a lot. Specifically the characters. But Let's Play has a major theme of relationships. That being the will they or won't they of several of the characters. Mainly from the beginning 3, but moving on we've kind of whittled it down to 2. Now, love triangles aren't anything new, especially in a webtoon series. I can think of like 8 other series that have just too many love triangles. But this one is an interesting case because it could feel like it goes either way at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. Which is why Bri and myself will be talking about who is going to be the endgame in Let's Play. Endgame... I never understood why they called it Endgame, but who is going to be the person Sam Young ends up with by the end of the series. For the story so far, if we can quickly explain it, Let's Play follows Sam Young, an indie game developer. She does great work, and the beginning of the series, Marshall, what's his last name?
Young.
Wait, no, Young is Sam.
Sorry, I'm stupid. Martial Law.
Martial Law, a famous Let's Play YouTuber, moves in next door. And the day before, I think, he does a video on her indie game, Ruminate? Is that how you say
Ruminate? Either way. Ruminate. I always said ruminate.
Her game, her indie game. And he did not like it. And then there's a rivalry between the two. They kind of don't like each other for a bit. But we're introduced to a lot of other characters. The main 3 at first was Link, her childhood friend. Were they friends when they were younger?
Yeah. They met each other at the hospital because Link's father was not doing well, and Sam was in the hospital because, miracle child.
Yeah.
And over the years, Link developed a crush on her.
Yeah. We got Link, then Charles, her boss, and then we have Marshall, the YouTuber that was mean to her. And those are our 3 main love interests, or possible love interests, for her to end up with. As the series went on, Link kind of dropped out because he just straight up told her that he didn't find her attractive, which was harsh, but everyone has their own interests. And now we're down to Charles and Martial Law. In the series right now, she's kind of dating Charles. Is that right?
They're not officially dating because I think it was at the end of season 2, he kind of essentially was like, we can fool around, but I'm not looking for a relationship. And Sam kind of agreed, like, yeah, I don't really want to date either. So they're just kind of messing around. But within the more current chapters or episodes, whatever you want to call them, in season 3 right now, it seems like they're kind of falling for each other, or at least it's very apparent that Charles is very quickly falling for Sam.
Right. But that brings us into Charles himself. Charles is a character I've talked about before extensively. back when I did character chart series and I put everyone into the D&D character alignment chart, he was I think he was lawful evil because there's no
God.
there was the thing is there's no like evil in these kind of series. So like evil is really just like kind of mean sometimes. I wouldn't say he uses people, but he's pretty good at manipulating others, which is a thing that both Sam's dad and her brother kind of like point out, like, oh, watch out, he's like nice to people, but it's usually because he wants something out of him or wants something out of others. But Charles's more important backstory is that he was engaged. He wasn't married, right? He was just engaged.
No, I think he was married.
He was married. I forgot. He was married, and his wife cheated on him with his best friend at the time.
Yes.
Which has gotta hurt your, everything. Gotta hurt any chances of any other possible romantic relationships in the future.
Yes.
And what the series does really well is that they show emotions and like states of mental being, I guess, they show emotions through like the emoticons, which I like, but they show like people's like mental health through like pixel hearts. And Charles's pixel hearts are frozen, and they have a broken golden band or golden wedding band around them to signify like he's not ready to be like open with others. And I think by the end of season 2, his hearts were like melting or something.
By the end of season 2, I think almost all 3 have been entirely melted.
Yeah. So it's showing like, oh, he's slipping back into that. There's a lot going for Charles to be the end game here. But I wanted to talk about something I noticed early on in the series. In her game, both Marshall and Charles play it in season 1. In season 1, only Marshall finishes it. In season 2, Charles finishes it. Marshall loves the game, but he's kind of heartbroken at the end of it because he said it was a bad game originally, and that caused his fan base to swarm on her like Steam page, basically, to tank the game to like a 0.1 score or something. But when he replayed the game, he fell in love with it. And something I liked about it is that the game itself has characters from Sam's life be like important NPCs. And that kind of signifies what role they play in Sam's life. Angela, one of Sam's best friends, she's a redhead, she's really fiery. She's muscle girl, so let's not tell Ron about her. And she's strong, is a knight, so she's a protector. Vicky is like a yoga instructor. She's very calm and very centered. She's a witch, but she kind of like helps others. Her dad is the king and her mom is the queen. And Sam is a princess, but she's dead in the game, which is really worrying. At the end of Marshall's game, he finds her ghost and her remains, buries her, and gives her a proper funeral, and kind of like, and her spirits kind of dissipates as like it fades and arrests. On the flip side, Charles, at the end of his playthrough, he manages to revive the princess. And at the end, the king gives him the option to marry the princess, and he declines. And when he declines, he walks away from the computer, but there's a hidden ending where the princess kills herself to be with the adventurer forever. What I originally thought this meant was that Sam was a ghost. She was defeated. She's not in the best state at the beginning of the series. She's anxious. She's nervous. She's not best health-wise. When she's with Charles, something new awakens in her. She becomes more confident. She becomes more assertive. She becomes just a more confident person overall. What I thought it meant was later down the line, they're going to have a moment where they have to define the relationship. And Charles doesn't want to, because he doesn't want to be hurt again. He doesn't want to be married again because he's had a bad experience with it. And he's going to unintentionally hurt Sam and kind of kill her confidence again. Meanwhile, with Marshall, he doesn't really boost her confidence, but he's always just been a very pleasant experience, especially in the later seasons. He's just kind of a nice presence for her to be around. She plays games with him. She's open and honest with him. And the series is splitting down into two paths where she can become a better person with Charles, or she can become happy with who she is with Marshall. I think that's what the series is showing. What about you, Bri? I've been talking for a while.
No, you're good. You're good. I just now realized, you could kind of interpret the Charles game ending with with something I possibly think might happen. So at the end of season 2, the episode where Sam gets drunk by accident, Charles gets a call from another company in the UK saying that they're offering him a job and they're giving him a chance to go back to the UK because the job pays like a lot more money. So he's very conflicted on that. I think what might happen is if something happens and he takes that job opportunity and decides to leave America, Sam might, want to go after him. Because there is, I don't remember which episode it is, but there is a chapter where she says she wants to go there. She wants to go to like his hometown and like see what it was like growing up for him or something along those lines. And he kind of tells her all these places that she should go to, and like that would be her excuse to follow him to the UK. Even if it's not an end, like I don't know how to explain it. I don't do well unscripted either. If that was a potential ending for the webtoon, because I just now clicked in my mind that if Monkey makes all these different endings for the game, what if, she does something different with her webtoon and makes alternate endings for the webtoon itself?
That is something I didn't think about.
Because if you've ever watched Clannad, that anime series, it makes multiple endings where the main character, I forget his name, ends up with the different female characters. Like it's canon he ends up with Nagisa, her name I know, but there's alternate endings where he ends up with the other female love interests. So that is something I could definitely see Let's Play doing since it's very video game based. It could have multiple endings where she ends up, one where she ends up with Charles, one where she ends up with Marshall, and one where she doesn't end up with anybody.
Right, because that's also maybe what the series is hinting at. That she's becoming her own person that doesn't need to be in a relationship.
Exactly.
There are series like Loof, Luff, all capitalized. I'll quickly explain that. It's a story where you're matched by your fingerprints to your soulmates, and the higher similarity you are to your soulmate, like the better match, the better future you have for yourself. And in that story, she's matched with 2 people. She has like a 99% match with 2 people. But by the end, she kind of chooses herself instead of choosing either partner. And it shows her life as being her own independent person. It straight up just doesn't tell you who she chooses at the end. And there are other series, like Muted, where both options are the correct option. Camila doesn't choose, but she gets 2 girlfriends. So Webtoon does always choose an interesting option that we don't first think of. So having multiple endings is possible, but would there be a canon ending? Which is like, this is what I believe to be the case.
I know Mongi says in one of her Q&As that she does have the entirety of Let's Play planned out. So she does have an ending. Mm-hmm. She does know who she wants, how she wants their stories to end. But I read somewhere that, and I really wish I could have found where she said this. Apparently she said that depending on fans' reactions is how she might, change the story a little bit. Because fans right now are really loving the idea of Sam and Charles together.
Right.
So I don't know if that's going to affect her ending or make an alternate ending or just kind of flip-flop a story a little bit. It's obviously it's really up to Mongi.
Right.
At the end of the day, how she wants to end off all these characters' stories.
Right. So I guess it doesn't become what is the end game, but who do you want to be the end game? Who is your preferred...
Me personally?
Yeah, you personally. Who do you prefer Sam to end up with?
I personally prefer Sam to end up with Charles. I'm a Charm fangirl.
Okay, so we're
like most
opposite.
others,
We have
but
both sides because I'm with Marshall.
I figured you would be.
What does that mean?
No.
What was that supposed to mean?
It's just what I want to happen. I would be fine if it didn't happen. Like, I'm not gonna be shattered if she changed it. Because, like, I
Right.
could totally see, because I think this chapter's already out, and if it's not, you might have to cut this part entirely. Where, at the end of one of the chapters, after, spoiler alert, after, Sam and Charles had their night of lovemaking, at the end of, that chapter, it's revealed that Sam's father has been having someone follow her around and, like, take pictures of her and send them to him and, like, to monitor her. He's being a helicopter parent. He saw that Charles stayed the night at Sam's house, and I genuinely think he might come back and fire him. Or at least attempt to fire him. Either he's going to fire him and get away with it, or he's going to attempt to fire him or punish Charles in some way, and Sam's going to stand up for him. And stand up to her dad, because that's something that has got to happen at some point.
Right.
If Samuel does get away with firing Charles, or at least scares Charles enough to want to leave Young Industries, or whatever the hell the company's called, that he will go back to the UK, but will have, like, this new sense of hope that he will find love again one day, thanks to Sam, for, like, you know, kind of teaching him that it's okay to open back up to people, and that not everyone in the world is as horrible as his ex-wife. That there are people like Sam out there.
Yeah, it is looking to be that. I completely forgot about that job offer, and I do think he will take it. Actually, wow, I do think you called that entire bit where he tries to fire Charles. I think he's going to succeed in firing Charles. And then he takes the job in the UK. Sam wants to go with him, but I don't think he would want her to come with him. Because of, what is it? There's a bunch of, like, different, not even webtoon series, but just, like, in TV, where, like, I don't want you to come with me because if you uproot your entire life to come with me, that means our relationship, like, needs to work out in the end. But I don't think he's confident enough that his relationship with Sam will end up the way that Sam wants to. Also, the header for Let's Play on the website is Sam and Marshall, and Charles is not even there anymore.
Wait, really?
They removed him.
Because on the webtoon app, the header is still it's still Sam kind of sandwiched between Marshall and Charles.
No, the header has changed. It's Sam and Marshall sitting next to each other, and then there's roses on the other side.
Oh.
Because
no.
originally there was Sam, Charles, and Marshall on one side, and then Link on the complete opposite side. Like he was like alone over there, and then they cut him, and now they're cutting Charles. It does feel like narratively that these two should end up together, that Marshall and Sam should end up together. Like, she makes video games, he plays video games, he makes videos about video games, and there's a plot thread that's hinted at like the very beginning of the season that Sam wants to make a new game, but her artist got a job with her mom and like she needs to grow up or something like that. And Marshall really likes drawing, but has stopped drawing because of his dad. His dad sucks. And the idea like, oh, they're going to collaborate on a project together. And I think that's maybe where the series is headed, where Charles gets fired. You know what? Charles gets fired. I think then Sam quits.
Ooh.
And then she works with Marshall to make a new game.
I didn't even think about that. Because she knows that, she has said she doesn't want to run her dad's company one day. She has openly stated that.
Yeah.
I never thought that she would actually like, huh.
I think the confidence
That's a
that
good point.
Charles gives her, or the confidence that Charles kind of instilled in her relationship, makes her like, fine, you fired him, but I'm quitting as well. And then Charles leaves.
Oh yeah.
This is speculation at this point. We're just purely speculating in the entire series.
We're just like this video is just like gonna be here to like fucking whenever Let's Play finally ends, We're gonna go back to this video and see who was right and how much of this stuff we actually got right.
And if we're wrong, I'm gonna delete it. No. No, not that bad. We got Marshall's girlfriend, Glitter.
Oh yeah,
Glitter Cat.
Glitter Kits, whatever her YouTube name is. Monica is her name. It's they've broken up, so the fact that they're broken up has finally opened up that avenue for Sam and Marshall to be together.
Yeah, I think that was one of the major things in the background. Also, the Marshall's sister, Ava?
People think Ava's gonna end up with Charles again.
Yeah, people, including me.
I don't see that happening. Yeah, really.
It just, for me, I guess they just have a similar personality that I think that can work. But
That is true.
I'm not in a relationship, so I don't know how that works. How does relationships work, Bri?
I mean,
You're in one.
I'm in one. Okay. Well, every relationship is different, and the only reason I don't see Ava and Charles being a thing is because she's like, unless she learns to fix her jealousy problems, like Marshall had to like prevent her from even seeing Charles with another woman, despite him not being with Sam, Ava not being with anyone. Like, despite them like not being a thing, neither of them, like both of them are still single. Just, like, Ava just can't even see Charles fooling around with other women, or else she would get so jealous so quick. Because, you know, Marshall even said, I did not do that to help you out. I did that because Ava's a very sensitive person, and I also don't want Sam to get hurt in the conflict. Which fans called. Fans, like after that episode came out, fans were like, yeah, no, Marshall did not do that for Charles or Sam. He did that solely for his sister. Yeah, that's the only reason I don't really see them getting back together. Because I think, plus, like, they weren't ever really a thing to begin with. They fooled around and she just got attached.
Right. But now Charles is open to getting attached. Because his heart's melted by the end of, like, season 2.
But he would have to get attached to Ava again. Because this is why I don't really see Sam and Marshall being a thing. If they become a thing, that's fine. I'll be fine with that. But like, Mongi would have to make so many chapters and like maybe an entire season dedicated to them building up their relationship. And I don't know how long she plans on this webtoon to be going on for. Because we've already gotten so much time with Sam and Charles to where if that's not, to where if they don't work out, Sam and Marshall are going to need to spend a lot of time together to work up any sort of relationship.
Right. I was gonna go to Link and Angela because the series is kind of pushing those two together.
Oh, I kind of forgot about them.
Fair, I guess.
Real quick, before we go to that though, I the only thing I was going to say is I can though see Marshall, if Charles leaves and goes back to the UK, I can see Marshall being the one to be there for Sam to like help her. What's the word? Help her get over it or cope. Not the word I wanted to use. It's the only word I can think of. Like to kind of just be there for her, be a support system for her. Cause he knows what she'd be going through. Cause he would still be going through the breakup with Monica.
I was thinking of Charles actually, and Vicky.
Oh yeah.
Not that they're gonna end up together, but Vicky has this weird like ability to see other people's emotions, like the person emotions. And the first time she meets Charles and she shakes his hand, she kind of like gets the control emotion, and she's like shocked by that.
Yeah, she sees like the only emotion in control is literally control. Like, all of his emotions are bound up because he is literally controlling every other emotion that he has.
I don't know where that was going. I just thought it was interesting because there's so much control in Charles's life and he's losing it. With Sam, he's losing it. His emotions, he's losing control of. And if this video is right, he's not going to have a job anymore.
Yeah, no, because I can totally see if Samuel confronts Charles on spending the night at Sam's place, he might like just completely like let all of his emotions out and be like be like, yeah, sorry, dude, I'm falling for your daughter. Suck it up and deal with it. And then that's the final straw. And he fires Charles right then and there. It might not, who knows? But I think Vicky has like the wrong idea about why Charles's emotions are all bound up. She thinks Sam is in trouble. Like, she thinks Sam might be in danger. I don't think that's it, obviously. Obviously, she might get hurt by him, but not in the way that Vicky thinks is going to happen. She's like, I don't know if she's safe with this guy, but I think she'll find out the only reason everything was so bound up is because he is personally keeping his emotions in check so he doesn't let himself get hurt. Not that he wants to hurt anyone else. Especially Sam. Sam's like the last person at this point he wants to hurt. But no, we can go on to Link and Angela if you want.
To Link and Angela. I mean, I just wanted to point out that like the other options get another romantic partner.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. Like, I didn't see that coming. I had no idea that like, I thought Link was just going to be kind of out of the story and only appearing, like, every now and then whenever Sam's at the coffee shop. But no, Mongi keeps him in and be like, here, you can be with Angela now. This is I mean, the two of them, I really hope the two of them do work out. I can very much see it working out between Link and Angela. Because everyone thought Monica and Marshall might work out their issues and end up back together. And now I don't think that's the case. In episode 154 is out, and it shows that at the end of the episode that the two of them are meeting up again. But I think they're doing it just as friends. Yeah. So I don't think that they're going to get back together. They're probably just going to stay friends, which continues the avenue for Marshall and Sam getting together. And Monica will probably be there to support it.
Yeah, Monica's a really supportive person.
Everyone, like, in any episode that Monica is in now, I just see so many comments saying, wow, we were all so wrong about Monica. Everyone thought she was going to be, like, some sort of villain because in her first appearance, she's very bitchy. But she had every right to be. She thought a fan had found where they lived. Yeah.
And then she becomes, like, a supportive character to Sam.
Yeah, and then she becomes a whole, like, girl supporting girls to Sam. And just a very, like, very good character overall, being like, Marshall, I don't want to hold you back from being who you are. Essentially, what was it again? The chapter where they broke up, where she's like, we need a fresh start because I don't like seeing you unhappy, and you are unhappy if you have to pretend to be someone else with me.
Right. The Marshall Law versus Ben Lawson?
Yes.
Is that his real name?
I think, yeah, Lawson is his actual last name. Here's something that I'm very curious as to what's going on. Episode 150 and 150, episode 149 to 151, I think it is, where their dad appears. And something is very clearly going on to where, like, he wanted to be there for his son again, but then at the end of one of these chapters, I don't remember which one specifically, he looked over at Ava and was like, shush. Like, something is going on. Ava knows what's going on, but we don't know what that is, and I'm kind of curious as to what's going on here. I know this video was about who's ending up with who, about who Sam's ending up with, but now that we've gone off and talked about other things, let's talk about this too while we're at it.
If people are still watching this far in, let's talk about anything. Okay.
Yeah, why not?
I think it's 151.
Yeah, 150.
He's introduced in 150. He looks like Sephiroth.
He looks like Sephiroth. I saw so many comments saying he looks like an older version of Charles.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, they're right. They're right.
Even I thought that when I looked at it, and I guarantee you, it's just the blue eyes. It's solely the fucking eyes.
It's the eyes.
It's the eyes. Mongi had to be like, yeah, no, they're not related at all whatsoever. Stop being stupid. Yeah, but halfway through that, when Ava and Marshall get back to the car, Ava looks over at her dad, and he's just like, shush, be quiet. Something might happen to where, who knows, maybe this is another, whatever's about to happen is just another plot point for Sam and Marshall to be together. Something might happen, and Sam might have to be there for him. They have to spend more time together. Who knows? I'm literally just speculating at this point.
We were speculating the entire time. This is nothing new.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah, no, it's confirmed that Charles is losing his job and then moving back to the UK.
Okay, you know, I meant speculating on the spot at this point, is what I meant to say. At this point, I'm just coming up with random crap that might happen.
Looking at this chapter again, very clearly, Ava told her dad that it was for Marshall. Because the reason he was there, he says, like, I found that Ava was going to the doctors and I figured it was for you. I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense. So I think Ava told their dad that Marshall was going to the hospital.
Yeah.
To try and get them to talk more. I think, because Ava's in law school, right? Or she's a lawyer, right?
I think Ava's a lawyer.
Because their dad is a lawyer.
Yeah.
And before he became Marshall, he was in law school.
Yeah, and that's why, you know, he don't really talk to his father anymore, because he left law school and was like, yeah, nah, that's not for me, Chief.
Yeah.
Which obviously very upset his dad. Which I guess it didn't help, his dad was always hard on both of them to begin with.
That's right, there was a flashback with them, and I don't remember that. I don't remember what episode that was. But there was a flashback with them, and he was drawing, and then his dad got mad that he was drawing.
Yeah, and there was like a nightmare sequence Marshall had where his dad was yelling, like arguing with their mother because, you know, he didn't think Ava was doing good enough despite having like perfect grades and all this other stuff. He still didn't think she was good enough. So he wasn't always just hard on Ben. He's hard on Ava too.
There's another thing that I'd like to mention. And it's the game that Sam plays with her friends. It's like that MMO game. Yeah. I don't know what it's called. I forgot about
the mystery dude.
But the mystery dude, which is Marshall, right?
I mean, it has to be.
I'm not sure that's confirmed, but like we're like 80 to 90% sure it's Marshall.
The only thing that like she's trying to throw off is the fact that Sam was playing with the guy, and then the second she logged off, she turned around and she saw Marshall was out like on the balcony thing, on the condo, whatever those things are.
Right.
So either unless he logged off at the very same time and quickly ran out to stand on the balcony, then, you know, either it's her trying to throw off the fact that this mystery dude could not be Marshall at all, or it's a new character entirely. And it's just, and it's who Sam ends up with. It's like a combination of all of her love interests in one, someone perfect for her. Can you imagine?
Yeah, you know what? That's my headcanon now. It's all three of them.
All three of them in one.
All three of them in one person.
It's she even said it looks like the dude from her dreams, and I don't remember if that guy had any of Link's traits, because she said it had Marshall's old hair, Charles's eyes. I don't remember what she said he sounded like.
I think it sounds her dream man sounded like Charles.
Of course.
This dream man has a name, I think.
Oh yeah. Yes, Karma. Okay, yeah, it is a combination of
Karma.
Of all three of them. Link, Charles, and Marshall. Karma.
Karma's a good name.
Karma is a good name.
But the reason I pointed out this person, whoever this mystery NPC is because one of the last times we see him, when she goes off to the porch, that night he turns off his like mod, because he was an RP, or he was a role player.
Yeah.
And he turned it off because Sam's character got killed or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's kind of like, I use RP because like it's an escape to be someone I'm not. And that kind of fits a lot with Marshall's character of being someone better than he is. Like he has to flip a switch to turn from Ben into Marshall, and we see it becomes harder to flip that switch, so he's someone else because he doesn't really like who Ben is.
Yeah.
That's it. I had no other point to make.
No, you're
No, Sam was really comforting to this character, and played along.
Yeah, she was the only one that was like nice to him about his mod. Although I do want to point out what she says at the end of episode 137, where he takes off his hat and, like, reveals what he looks like. She didn't say the man from my dreams. She said the man of my dreams. So this is clearly... I don't know how do I word this? Obviously, karma, or whatever this character is, I feel like it represents what Sam wants in a man. But not just a combination of people that have been her love interest. This is, like, who she wants in a man. Yeah, oh, okay, the guy's name is Dion? Dion? I don't know.
Dion.
You know, I was wrong. It doesn't show how quickly Sam got off the game in the time period between getting off and looking outside to see Marshall. So, you could very well be right. This dude could very well be Marshall.
Hey, my headcanon. Yeah, and later in that episode, they talk about her new game. Evermake? Yeah, Evermake.
Yes.
Oh, and she had, like, a prototype app when he was in the hospital, right?
Yeah, she was showing it to him in the hospital.
And they played Webtoon Smash Bros. Once.
Webtoon Smash Bros.
I'll make that game. It's the last thing I do. I'll make that game.
I did kind of forget that in the hospital they did spend all that time together. Even so much that even to where, like, to the point where he fell asleep on her and nuzzled into her chest.
Yeah. Which was on accident.
Which is, yes, on accident.
And it was dreaming of Kitten.
Yes.
They do a lot of trying to make these characters connect with each other.
Yeah.
Through things that they don't talk about with anyone else. Like, they're partners. They can't really talk about an MMORPG or Webtoon Smash Bros. Or their next game because Monica isn't a gamer. She doesn't really play games, so she doesn't understand them.
No.
And Charles kind of he's only really played Ruminite. Ruminite.
I think he says he, only prefers, like, puzzle games, which is what Ruminate is. He likes puzzle and thinking games. He's not much of, like, a horror gamer like Marshall is.
He also does the escape rooms, I think.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing.
That is some... I forgot about that. That is something else I would like to see the two of them do. I want to see...
Do an escape room?
I want to see Sam and Charles do an escape room.
That's a cute cliche.
I mean, if anything, it could be a thing for Sam to be able to do on her own. Charles being like, oh yeah, let's go do this. And then it's like, psych, you're doing it on your own, just to prove you can do it.
Throws you in on your own.
To be like, just kind of to show you do not need me. You are more than capable of doing things on your own without me. Because as much as I want the two of them to end up together, because they are very cute and they do work very well off of each other, I think Charles's only purpose is to, give Sam more confidence in herself. Because so far, she's only confident when she's around him. He's going to teach her that she needs to be confident without him.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, locking her in an escape room by herself and then leaving.
Okay, that sounds so messed up.
That sounds terrible. That sounds so bad.
Maybe he is lawfully evil.
He is lawfully evil.
He is the villain.
The idea of, you can do this on your own.
Yeah.
And then he gets fired.
I mean,
really
that'll probably be the last, like, if he does leave, that will probably be the last thing that she says to him. Do not follow me. Like, you will be just fine without me. You are a, strong woman. You can do things on your own. You just needed the little push to do so. I mean, he's been teaching this to her since, like, season 1, so now we'll just need 2 more seasons of Let's Play building up Sam and Marshall's relationship. Because if they rush in and get together, I will be a little upset if she rushes it.
I think they're gonna be making Evermake or whatever that game is.
Yeah,
together.
Yes.
Because she hasn't asked him to be her, like, artist. Because she's seen his notebooks filled with, like, character designs and concept art.
Yeah.
So I think it's like, oh, let's make a game together. And then during that process, they're gonna have to spend a lot of time together, in which they build maybe not a romantic relationship, but a better relationship than they have.
Yeah.
Which is just a normal relationship.
Yeah.
Also, I think the author is doing a good job of introducing Marshall to Sam's friends as well.
Yes.
He's building relationships with, like, all of them.
That is something I did notice.
He's drawing in Dee's Cafe? D?
Yeah, he did
the name? Yeah.
the thing with on the chalkboard or whatever.
Yeah, Black Death.
Death.
Then he's in Vicky's yoga class. He had a talk with the football player. Abe.
So surprised I remembered his name.
He got yelled at by Angela, but that's still something.
Yeah, because I did notice he is building up he is getting to know all of her friends, which is good. You want a potential partner to be on good terms with all of your friends. And right. Charles is not really doing that. They only really know him as Sam's boss. They don't even know that she hooked up with him. Mm-hmm. And Vicky thinks that he's like a bad thing for Sam. She's not sure if she's safe with him.
Also, since we were speculating about things that aren't the relationship, in one of the early Q&As, the Let's Play logo, the pixel hearts underneath it, she says they mean something.
Yeah.
What do they mean? What do you think they mean? The pixel hearts under the Let's Play logo. Because they increase and decrease throughout the entire series.
Oh, you mean the ones the ones under the logo, not just everyone's set of hearts.
under the logo.
Oh.
Because I think in the newest chapter they're filled, but in other chapters, like 96, there's only one.
Yeah. Huh. Okay, yeah, no, I've noticed, because in 110, only 2 of them are filled. But if you look at 154, all 3 of them are filled. I think they represent Sam's, I think they're Sam's hearts. I think it represents, the feelings that she has. It just depends for who. Because, if Charles does leave, maybe in the next chapter, all 3 of them will be empty, signifying that she's heartbroken.
The one with Dion has 2 hearts, if that means anything.
Wait, really?
Yeah. The first one with Dion has 2 hearts.
Oh.
And then the next one with Dion has 2 hearts.
Huh.
153 does have 3 hearts.
Oh.
The episode where they had an amorous night. But the night they spent together.
Yeah.
That's 3 hearts. Or the aftermath is 3 hearts.
Yeah. Yeah, and 123. Where she was trying to get his attention and where they finally have that talk about her finding out that Charles is divorced, it only has 2 hearts. But in the chapter afterwards, oh wait, I might be wrong.
It's still 2 hearts.
I'm stupid. It's still only 2 hearts.
It's only 2 hearts.
I mean, you said after they finally do, there's 3 hearts there.
Yeah.
Huh, I don't know. Dang. I never actually noticed that the hearts are all filled up differently depending on the chapter. Okay, yeah, that's weird, because at the beginning of season 3 they're still only at 2 hearts up until Charles stays the night. Yeah, I think at 151 is when they finally completely fill up all the way, because at the end is when they finally go inside to spend time with each other, and then from there on it's been all 3 hearts are filled ever since.
Tying this back to the relationships, under all of the logos there's 1 player and 2 players.
Yeah.
And it's usually on 1 player. In episode 57, which is Marshall's viewpoint, it starts before the logo even appears. It says player 2, ready, set, go.
I noticed that.
So these hearts could represent the hearts of player 1.
Yes.
Which is Sam. So let's look at a low point in Sam's life.
Yeah.
Which is a terrible thing to say. The episode after Link calls her unattractive.
Oh yeah. Which episode was that again?
I don't know.
Yeah, at the beginning of 83, the heart is only filled. Only 1 of them is filled. Oh, but 84, none of them are. They're all empty.
Oh, they're all empty.
They're all empty.
They've never all been. I feel like they never are all empty.
Because this is after she gets her heart broken. This is where her confidence has halted. Although this is the chapter where Charles makes her tell her 1 good thing about herself every day. Yeah, this is where Sam and Charles get to start their growth.
Oh.
So 96. 96 is when only 1 of them is filled.
Yeah, you're right. And that's the episode after Marshall praised her game.
Yeah. So do you think it represents Sam's confidence?
Ooh, it could.
Either her confidence or just her mental health. Because after being heartbroken and being called unattractive, obviously that's going to do a damper on your mental health. But then after being praised, after having your game praised, all your ideas, that's going to boost up your confidence and your mental health. Because I'm looking for which episode it is that 2 hearts have been filled.
Charles talks about his playthrough.
Yeah, that will definitely make her feel better.
We figured it out.
We've cracked the code.
That was not a video that was not meant to talk about this.
Nope.
Whoops. Interesting that halfway through 102, her heart. There are 3 hearts that go from 1 filled to 2.
Oh, yeah. I think Mongi wanted everyone to believe that those were Charles's hearts. I think they. Wait, no. I don't think that's what. Even if whatever she intended it to be, now that I'm looking back over it after we've talked about it, I think those are Sam's hearts. It doesn't get to 3 hearts until like season 3.
No, 151. She's reading the reviews that are 10 out of 10s.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and you see the little animation for 3 hearts fill, and it says ultimate unlocked.
Oh yeah.
So confidence does make sense because I think she needed that to invite him in.
Yes.
She needed her hearts filled all the way to invite him in by the end of this chapter.
Yeah. It's not. I don't even think it's just her confidence. I think it's also her mental health and her happiness overall. Yeah.
A lot of the hearts for other characters seem to be their mental health as well.
Yeah. Because we've seen Marshall's hearts drain when he collapsed. I like that detail very much.
Good job,
Good job, Mongi.
And good job, us.
Good job, us for
realizing it.
We probably sound so stupid though. I swear you're probably gonna get comments being like, "You guys now just figured that out."
I swear I'm smart.
I swear we're smart. I'm not reading it just for the fan service.
Charles is afraid of needles, and a commitment, I guess.
And not wanting to date. That's it.
And not wanting to date. Right, and in that episode, we do see that Sam wants to have something more, or is starting to want to have something more.
Yeah.
And is like, oh, he's so cold about it. But he clearly does want he does want something more as well, but I think he's kind of laid the rules, and going back on them is something he probably won't do.
Yeah. I think at some point they might express to each other that they do want something more, but if it is when Charles leaves, that'll probably be when it is. That they could have had something more, but it just wasn't in the cards for them. Late. It was too late.
Who knows? Unless
Mongi decides to pull a Friends series finale and do a Ross and Rachel. Did he get off the plane?
I haven't watched Friends.
Never mind.
This reference meant nothing to me.
Okay. I don't know. I'm very curious to see what she does with this, though, because she spent so much time building up this relationship-ish thing between Sam and Charles. Hell, she even had Charles be Sam's first time, and that's something that's supposed to be very special. Obviously, it'd be very cliche and unrealistic to have be with the first person you bang. But, like, she spent so much time building up their relationship that if they inevitably do not get together, she's gonna need to spend a lot of chapters building up Marshall and Sam. Otherwise, that would be the one thing that upsets me, is if she broke Sam and Charles up just to quickly have Marshall and Sam get together. Like, not spend nearly enough time building them up as she had with these 2 characters. But at the end of the day, whatever works, at least now, these 2 characters, no matter how they end up, Charles will have more confidence to be open with other people and, let his emotions out and not be this cold, stiff, like, robot and actually let people in and find love again. And Sam will have newfound confidence to do whatever she wants and not take crap from people.
I don't know what I expected getting into this video, but it certainly wasn't this. Yeah. I think it's just more, I guess it is cynical, never mind. Just the idea like, oh, it's probably going to be these two because they have like a lot of common. And I feel like the advertisements really push these two together. So it's probably going to be these two. And maybe that has influenced a lot of my decisions for, oh, it's going to be Marshall and Sam.
I was gonna say that's what I expected when I started reading this webtoon, because all the ads I saw were just Sam and Marshall. So I thought it was going to be about the two of them, and building that up. But now I'm along the lines of, wait, maybe she'll do something different. Maybe it won't be what she initially advertised because the story has progressed so much. Maybe it will be this other dude. Or it won't be anyone at all, and Sam will just be herself and she'll find someone when she's ready.
That's right. But what I think it is Sam sees how good a romantic relationship can be, but she also sees what she wants out of a romantic relationship.
Yes.
Both the good and the bad of Charles. And I think maybe, as mean as this sounds, it's just like a stepping stone into what she wants later down the line.
Yeah, that's what everyone really thinks it's going to be.
Yeah, I'm pretty basic. Don't quote me on that, though.
I will not quote you on that.
I'm gonna cut that.
Okay.
I'm gonna cut that. I want my fan base to quote me as saying I'm pretty basic.
I'm pretty basic. Well, at least now we have this video to go back on and see who was right when what Let's Play eventually ends.
If I'm wrong, I'm deleting this video.
We're both wrong. At this point, I think we've stated so much stuff that one of us has to be right about something.
But if I don't say anything that's right, then the video's getting deleted.
What the hell, Shy?
All right, that's all for today. Would you like to close this out, Bri?
How do you normally close out your videos?
I don't know. Figure it out.
Okay. If you haven't yet, go ahead and read Let's Play on Webtoon. Please very much support Mongi and what she does. It's a very good webtoon. The art's very pleasant to look at, and the story is very interesting. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I'm sure we're both very interested to see what you guys think. Maybe you guys have some theories that we haven't spoken about, have some ideas that we notice details that we just didn't see. Please let us know. And yeah, go check out my channel. Anyway. Subscribe to Shy Chef if you haven't, by the way. If you're seeing this and you're not subscribed to Shy, what the hell are you doing?
If you survived this probably 40-minute plus video, might as well.
Might as well
Subscribe to both of us. I've never shilled myself. I've only done it once. I felt wrong for it. But that's all for today. So like always, thank you for watching, and I hope I'll see you next week. Take care.